صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: الناس معادن فمعادن الذهب والفضة فخيارهم في الجاهلية خيارهم في الإسلام إذا فقهوا. الحديث رواه أحمد. عن جابر بن عبد الله رضي الله عنهما عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: الناس معادن كمعادن الذهب والفضة فخيارهم في الجاهلية خيارهم في الإسلام إذا فقهوا. Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu anhuma narrates that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, people are like mines, just as there are mines of gold and silver. Those who were better in the days of ignorance, meaning prior to embracing Islam, are also better after accepting Islam, provided they have understanding of deen. Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu anhuma narrates that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, people are like mines, just as there are mines of gold and silver. Those who were better in the days of ignorance are also better after accepting Islam, provided they have understanding of deen. Note, in this hadith, men have been compared with mines. Various mines contain different minerals, some of which are more valuable, like gold and silver, while others are less valuable, like coal and lime. Similarly, different men have different qualities and habits, because of which some have higher rank and some have lower. Again, so long as gold and silver remain unexplored, these do not have the value, but these acquire value only after being taken out of the mines. In the same manner, as long as a man remains hidden in the darkness of infidelity, though he may have any measure of generosity or bravery, he does not bear that value which he would gain once he has embraced Islam and acquires the knowledge of deen. عن أبي أمامة رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: من غدا إلى المسجد لا يريد إلا أن يتعلم خيرا أو يعلمه كان له كأجر حاج تاما حجته. Abu Umama radiallahu anhu narrates that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, he who goes to the masjid not desiring anything other than learning or teaching something good, his reward is like that of a haji who performs a complete hajj. Abu Umama radiallahu anhu narrates that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, he who goes to the masjid not desiring anything other than learning or teaching something good, his reward is like that of a haji who performs a complete hajj. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال: قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إن مما يلحق المؤمن من عمله وحسناته بعد موته علما علمه ونشره وولدا صالحا تركه ومصحفا ورثه أو مسجدا بناه أو بيتا لابن السبيل بناه أو نهرا أجراه أو صدقة أخرجها من ماله في صحته وحياته يلحقه من بعد موته. رواه ابن ماجه. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, indeed, among the actions and good deeds for which a believer will continue to receive rewards even after his death are: 1. Knowledge which he taught and spread. 2. Righteous children whom he left behind. 3. The Quran which he left as an inheritance. 4. A masjid which he built. 5. A rest house which he built for the travelers. 6. A stream which he caused to flow. 7. A charity that he gave from his wealth while he was alive and healthy. For all these, he will continue to receive rewards after his death. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, indeed, among the actions and good deeds for which a believer will continue to receive rewards even after his death are: 1. Knowledge which he taught and spread. 2. Righteous children whom he left behind. 3. The Quran which he left as an inheritance. 4. A masjid which he built. 5. A rest house which he built for the travelers. 6. A stream which he caused to flow. 7. A charity that he gave from his wealth. while he was alive and healthy. For all these, he will continue to receive rewards after his death.
Auntie, what does inheritance mean?
Inheritance means something that he leaves after that a person possess something, and when he dies, then that goes as inheritance to his family members, his heirs, whoever whoever has been selected, so to speak, to receive that wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's after a person dies, the wealth that he leaves behind goes to his heirs, whoever they may be. So in Deen, a certain amount has already been established, and that should be followed. And up to one third from his belongings, he can decide that he wants to give it to a charity or to someone who is not already going to receive a fixed portion from what Sharia has already decided. So he also has a choice in one third of his wealth. So all of these hadith are encouragement towards learning deen, teaching deen, investing in oneself. That a person, look, the first hadith we read that anas, and people are like mines. People are mines, like mines of gold and silver. So until we start making effort, until a person makes an effort on the mine, there is nothing which will come of it. It will never, attain any value. So likewise, we are in the same thing. We're in the same position. Until we start making an effort on ourselves, we will not become valuable. And the real value is the value which is in the eyes of Allah. Today we have made effort on many things, and all of these things have become very valuable. We've made effort on, you know, plastic, on metals, and these have come planes which are flying in the air. They cost millions and billions of dollars. This plastic has become valuable. Rocks have become valuable. We have made effort on all sorts of things, but have we made effort on the most valuable thing, which is the human being? Have we made effort on ourselves? Have we made effort on our family members? Have we made an effort on those of our community? This is actually the most valuable thing that we should be making effort on. And what is the lines of effort? First and foremost, Iman. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions that the best are those who the best in Jahiliyyah are the best in Islam. So this basic fundamental thing of Iman is there. So long as Iman is there, then then we start reaching that level of value in Allah's eyes. So this is what really Allah demands from us. He wants us to bring Iman. And then after this Iman, then it's not that, mashallah, we became Muslim, but that's it. The mother doesn't say, mashallah, I gave birth to the child, now that's it. Now, you know, you figure it out, my job is done. No, that's when the job starts. That's one stage which is done. Now, next stage, and that next stage is, keeps going. So, alhamdulillah, someone accepts Islam, that's the first stage. Then, after they've accepted Islam, then the rest of their life is to keep on progressing. And those of us who are fortunate to have been born into Muslim families, alhamdulillah, we have Iman, great, but that's not the end of it. Now, that's, we got, we were fortunate to get a head start, but if we do not make an effort, then we will also start lagging behind. So we need to really start investing in ourselves, preparing ourselves for this month of Ramadan, which inshallah should become a stepping stone for the rest of our year and the rest of our lives, inshallah. Inshallah, just a couple of more, one, two more hadiths, inshallah. عن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بعث إلى بني لحيان فقال ليخرج من كل رجلين رجل ثم قال للقائد أيكم خلف الخارج في أهله وماله بخير كان له مثل نصف أجر الخارج. رواه مسلم. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anhu narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam sent a message to Banu Lihyan that said, from every two men, one should go out in the path of Allah. Then he said to those who stayed behind, any of you who looks well after the family and belongings of those who are in the path of Allah, for him will be half the reward. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anhu narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam sent a message to Banu Lihyan that said, from every two men, one man should go out in the path of Allah. Then he said to those who stayed behind, and of you who looks well after the family and belongings of those who are in the path of Allah, for him will be half the reward. So this is also a point to be taken for the month of Ramadan, that we keep on hearing about the i'tikaf and the ibadat of that should be done in the month of Ramadan, and that's in its place. But there are also Ramadan was also the time that many great conquests and expeditions took place. Badr took place in the month of Ramadan, and others also took place during the month of Ramadan. So this was not something that was unheard of, that Sahaba would just stay at home in this month of Ramadan. Both things are there. So if we get the opportunity, now we're a bit tied up with COVID, but in some capacity, if we are able to go out in the path of Allah, then it is something which is praiseworthy. It is something which is in lines with what was happening in the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it is sunnah in its own right. It is something that if we get the opportunity, we should go out. We should try to spend some time. This is how we start making an effort on ourselves. Because if it was to have happened at home, we should be walis by now. But the fact that we are not means that something is not conducive to reaching that, becoming very, very close to Allah at our homes. Something we need to change up something. Allah give us the tawfiq to use our time properly, to prepare ourselves for this month of Ramadan, and to make an effort on ourselves. Really, the human is the most valuable thing on this world, in this world, and we should make an effort on the human, as was the practice of all the prophets ﷺ, who would make an effort to bring the human from one level to the next, so that he recognized what his position was, what he had to do, and when the human became good, then he became a means of mercy and a means of barakah for everything around him. Every plant, every animal became a means of good for it. So may Allah make us understand who we are, and let us become a means of good for all that is around us as well. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. حضرة الشيخ طالب صاب.